Buying Bitcoin feels like you're finally doing something really important with your life. You click that button, you confirm your purchase, and suddenly you're sitting back in your chair like some kind of financial genius. For a brief and beautiful moment, everything in the world feels like it's finally going right. You've made a big decision, you've taken action, and you're now officially in crypto. This obviously means you've become an expert on global finance and the future of money, even though just 5 minutes ago, you were Googling whether a digital wallet is something you can actually hold in your hand. Holding Bitcoin, however, is a completely different experience, and nobody really prepares you for how uncomfortable it feels when nothing happens. Because after the excitement finally starts to fade, and after you've refreshed the price chart for the 15th time in a single hour, you start to realize something that's actually quite unsettling. You see, the Bitcoin is just sitting there. It's not crashing, it's not pumping, and it's certainly not doing anything to keep you entertained. It's just existing. It's like the coin is just staring back at you, completely unimpressed by your stress, while you're sitting there waiting for a moon mission that hasn't even started yet. And that is exactly why holding Bitcoin is harder than buying it. Buying Bitcoin is an event. Holding Bitcoin is a lifestyle choice you didn't realize you were signing up for. The moment you actually hit that buy button, your brain gets an instant reward because you feel like you've finally done something important. Taking action always feels productive, even when it's not really doing anything at all for your bank account. Holding your coins, on the other hand, feels exactly like doing nothing. And let's be honest, humans are famously bad at doing nothing without starting to panic just a little bit. We're basically wired to believe that effort has to be visible to be valuable. So if we can't see anything happening, we're convinced that something must be going wrong. Because honestly, if this was the right move, why would it feel so incredibly boring to just sit here and wait? The problem is that crypto culture is basically addicted to constant noise and high-speed chaos. It lives for the drama of breaking news alerts, endless countdowns, and people screaming that something massive is about to happen every 5 minutes. But holding Bitcoin doesn't give you any of that excitement. There are no fireworks in your living room. There's no epic soundtrack playing when you open your app. And there's definitely no friendly pop-up telling you that you're doing a great job just for being patient. Instead, you get silence. And silence is uncomfortable, especially when money is involved. At some point, and usually much sooner than anyone expects, the real boredom finally kicks in. It's that deep, soul-crushing boredom that slowly whispers, maybe I should just do something, even when there's absolutely no logical reason to touch anything at all. This kind of boredom is actually dangerous because it pushes people to make moves just to feel alive again, like a bored toddler with a permanent marker. In the world of crypto, simple boredom has caused way more bad decisions and empty bank accounts than most market crashes ever did, mostly because humans would rather be wrong and busy than right and bored. The worst part is that holding Bitcoin gives you way too much free time to listen to other people, even though most of those people have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. You open up social media and you're instantly hit with a wall of people celebrating massive gains in coins you don't even own, which makes you feel like the only person who missed the party. You see these super confident opinions from total strangers who use cartoon animals as their profile pictures, and suddenly, everyone on the internet seems way smarter than you, much louder than you, and definitely more successful than you. It's hard to stay calm when a digital penguin is telling you that you're doing it all wrong while showing off a screenshot of a profit that's probably fake anyway. Quick side note before we continue. If this already makes more sense than most Bitcoin advice you'll hear today, feel free to like the video. It genuinely helps keep the channel alive, and I promise it won't make Bitcoin move faster, but it does help me keep making these videos. Another thing is that Bitcoin operates on a completely different sense of time than we do. Most humans think in days or weeks, and some very patient people can even think in months, but Bitcoin honestly thinks in years. This massive mismatch in timing creates constant frustration because you're expecting progress on your own personal schedule, but Bitcoin doesn't care about your plans at all. It's going to move exactly when it wants to move, and it's definitely not going to send you a warning or a text message beforehand. Expecting Bitcoin to reward your patience immediately is honestly like planting a tree and then standing over the soil, yelling at it every 5 minutes to ask if it's done yet. Technically, you're involved in the process, but you're certainly not helping the tree grow any faster. You're just the person looking weird while staring at the dirt. There's also this really strange psychological trick where fast movement somehow feels more trustworthy to us than slow, steady progress. If a price chart moves quickly, people just assume it must be doing something incredibly important. But if it moves slowly, they immediately assume the whole thing must be broken. It makes absolutely no sense at all when you think about it. But then again, humans have never really been logical creatures. We're the kind of species that trusts flashy fireworks more than we trust solid foundations, even though those boring foundations are the only reason our houses don't collapse on our heads. Then there's the social aspect of it all, which is honestly where things get really difficult. People absolutely love talking about their big wins, but nobody ever wants to sit around and talk about how good they are at being patient. Holding doesn't give you any cool stories to tell at dinner, and you definitely can't brag to your friends about the fact that you did absolutely nothing for an entire year. Let's face it, there are no exciting screenshots of silence. Holding is lonely, it's quiet, and it's never going to make you look like the cleverest person at a party. In fact, it's probably just going to make you look like the most boring person in the room, while everyone else is busy shouting about the next big thing. Ironically, this boring silence is exactly why holding actually works in the long run. Most assets that depend on constant hype and social media excitement eventually just burn out the second people's attention moves on to the next shiny object. Bitcoin, however, has managed to survive long periods of being completely ignored, misunderstood, and declared dead by experts 1,000 times over, mostly because it doesn't actually rely on our applause to exist. The real challenge of holding Bitcoin isn't actually technical at all. It's purely psychological. There's no complex strategy involved, no secret math formula to follow, and definitely no such thing as perfect timing. It really just comes down to patience, discipline, and the rare ability to sit with discomfort without immediately trying to escape it by clicking a button. Most people don't fail at holding because they aren't smart enough. They fail simply because they lack emotional tolerance. You see, Bitcoin doesn't test your knowledge as much as it tests your basic human behavior. It has this annoying way of exposing your impatience and highlighting your deepest insecurities. It shows you exactly how you react when absolutely nothing is happening. And for most of us, that's the hardest test we'll ever have to take.